Okay, hey guys, Gamah here. I'm going to be giving you a quick run-through tutorial on getting good quality video out of Counter-Strike Source. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be using the game engine itself to render the video as opposed to some screen capture program. I suppose the next best thing you could do is a TV capture card, but that's still not as good as this because we can actually get a 90 frame per second, 120, 300 frame per second render out of a clip like this as opposed to just 30 to 60 FPS when using some sort of screen capture. So I've got my demo all queued up right here, and there's a few, we're going to ignore my phone, there's a few things we have to type before we want to actually start rendering, and the first thing is to be host, frame rate. I'm going to do 90 for this render, whatever you want your video to be rendered as, that's the frame rate you'll want. For shorter clips you might want anywhere from 100 to 300. For longer clips you might only want 50 or 60. But this is a medium length clip, I'll go with 90. And then what you're going to want to do is type start movie Z underscore, and the reason it starts with the Z is because of the way Windows file system works. You'll thank me later when we go to delete these files. And this is a para ace, so I'll type that. And as you see, it says here, started recording, frames will record after the console is cleared. So when I close the console, it's going to start rendering out frame by frame, tick by tick, animation by animation, and sound into thousands of TGA files, which will eventually dump with VDub. This part takes a bit, so I'm going to start the render here, and then I'll cut out of the video here, and I'll come back when it's done. So, as you can see, it renders painfully slow. So I'm going to let this render, and then I will come back. Okay, so you've reached the end of the movie, and you type end movie in the console, and it says no movie started because I already ended it. But when you reach that point, we are not going to need source anymore, so I'm going to quit out of that. And we're going to use VDub here. And you're going to go into File, and VirtualDub Open File, Open Video File, and you're going to pick the first frame of your render, Para-Ace 0000, or whatever you named yours. And it's scanning for images, and you'll see here that there are several thousand images, each of them being about 2 megabytes. So yeah, there's easily over 20 gigs here. What you're going to do is you're going to disable audio. Don't listen to those other people that tell you to put audio in here. Don't. We're going to use Sony for that. We're going to use Vegas. You want full processing mode. Actually, probably, no. For this we're going to use full processing. You want no compression, uncompressed. It's to be a really big video file. The point of this being is we get max quality in Sony Vegas, and we only compress it once. And so we're going to go into Save as AVI, which you can press F7 once you get used to this. And I'm going to save it as source video. Save. And you see it's estimating about 21 gigs. And it will be about 21 gigs. While we're at that, I'm going to close the folder I wanted to use, so on my computer. And we're just going to your C Strike folder to locate it under C, program files, Steam apps, your username, Counter-Strike Source, C Strike, and in these amazing 8,000 files is, for some reason they're out of order. What? Ah, here we are. In here, somewhere, named the same thing that you named your video is a WAV file. The 15 megabyte file is a minute 30 long, same as the clip. What we're going to do is we're going to copy that, and we're going to put it into our project folder. It's going to take a while for 15 megs because we got this render going, which takes all of your hard drive speed. And I'm just going to rename that source video. Alright, so now I have about a half an hour to wait. So I'm going to show you a trick to getting rid of these files here while we wait, and then I'll cut out. What you want to do is you want to find the beginning of the files that you don't need. So right here, these. And what you're going to do is you're going to hit Control A, so select every file. Now while holding Control, you can drag and select as many files as you want. I'm just going to go down until we see files we don't want to delete. Now I don't want to delete that one, so I'm going to hold Control and just click on it. Let's scroll back up because I know there's a couple up here that I wanted to keep. I want to keep these folders. Now I've selected all 8,120 frames, so I'm just going to hold Shift and press Delete on my keyboard. Windows is going to freeze for a minute while I try to just figure out how it's going to delete 8,000 files. Although, while I'm doing this right now, you're not going to want to do this while this is actually rendering because it's using those files. But, so I'm going to cancel when I do this, and then leave it all highlighted. It's going to ask you, you would click yes, and it would take like 2 seconds, but for this purpose of this video, I'm still rendering, so I don't want to delete all those files. I'm just going to leave them selected and do that later. So that's part 2, and how to render out the video, and I'll come back in Sony Vegas with the third part on how we're going to actually render out the video. Okay, so here we are in part 3 of our tutorial here. And I have, in the project folder, I have our source video and the source audio, which I labeled source video for some reason. And then these are the recordings of my screen here, which I will dump onto YouTube for everyone to enjoy. So I'm going to open up Vegas and adjust my squeaky chair. Now the reason we kept the audio and video separate is because we can use Sony Vegas as time stretching in order to line that all up. So I'm going to take our audio and video here, drop them in, and you can see the audio was much shorter than the video, and play that back, and you won't hear anything, but I can hear it playing, and the video is moving extremely slow. So we just hold Control and grab the end of our video clip, and we do this until they line up, and Sony Vegas is awesome because it snaps it for you. And now our audio lines up with our video quite nicely. So now you can edit this down and do what you wish with it, and it will come out nice quality. This isn't a Sony Vegas tutorial, this isn't a rendering tutorial, so I'm not going to tell you how to render it or what format to use, but I do use 720p video, and I usually render at 30 frames a second. So I'll upload another video after this tutorial, and that will cover, or that'll just be a final result of this clip here. I'll add some music and some effects and make it look pretty. No, that is all for now, so thanks for watching, and I hope that was at least remotely helpful to you.